welcome back to BattleLore 2nd edition. We're about to begin the Daqan turn 1. I think I'm saying it correctly. D-A-Q-A-N, so I'll call him Daqan. It's probably the easier. And so the first thing is in the main phase is the command step. So it is time for the Daqan player to play a command card. And I am going to use Wedge. And that means I'm going to order 1 unit in the left section, 2 units in the center section, and 1 unit on the right section. So we're going to use that card. And I will again use a pile of mini dice to indicate which units I am going to order. So the 1 unit on the left, I am going to, just out of camera range right here, use the infantry unit for there, and I'm going to activate the 2 archer units in the center here and a 3rd infantry unit right here. All right, that was the order step, and now it is time for the move step. So I'm just going to readjust the camera and I will move the units. Okay, so first up to move is going to be the Citadel Guard units right here, and they can move 2 spaces, and I'm going to move them 1, 2 this way, and there's a reason for that. So they move there, and now in camera range here are the archers, and I'm going to have them move 2 units, and they get to go, I'm going to move them 1, 2 over to this section. And these yeoman archers, which are right on the right hand side, are going to go 1, 2, and they're going to move up on this hill. All right, and let me just readjust the camera for the last infantry unit. We'll see where they're moving. Okay, and the last unit that I had ordered right in front of the rock warrior was the Citadel Guards, and they're right here. And they're going to move 2, and of course they will move 1, 2. They will move on to the victory point marker right here. And so I'm going to remove the die from them because, again, there are no units adjacent to them. They're melee units, so they will not be participating in the next step, which is the attack step. However, let's readjust the camera. We have lots of attacks to happen on the left flank and center of the board. So let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do in the attack step, you can do your attacks in any order you wish. And I am actually going to have this archer unit attack first, and we'll take a look at the yeoman archers just to verify what they can do. They have a double shot ability, but that only activates if they did not move, and both of my archer units did move this time, so they're only going to get a single shot. And they have 2 attack dice. You can see the value right here. And they can shoot from a range of 1 to 4. And so this archer unit is standing on a hill. So I'm going to remove the die because we're going to use them to attack right now. And let's just quickly look at hill terrain. If I can get it in focus here. And if we look at the hill, it says units occupying hill hexes ignore all units when tracing line of sight. However, blocking terrain still blocks line of sight. So what that means is this archer unit, which is directly in front of the back archer unit, does not block line of sight because this archer unit is on a hill. So they're going to be able to shoot over top of them, and we have a range of 1, 2, 3. They can easily hit the blood harvesters. Okay, and they have 2 attack dice. Let's do their attack. We'll roll the dice here and see what we get. And we get a sword and a crown. And if we look at the sword and the crown, a sword is used for melee. I'll just throw that up quickly so we can have a look. It's called Cleave. If the attack was melee and the attacking unit is strong, the target suffers the damage. Well, they're not melee, they're ranged. And the other one is the heroic dice. And it says the result has no inherent ability but is often committed to trigger a unit's abilities. And again, if we look at the yeoman archer's card, they do not have a special heroic ability icon listed here, so nothing happens. All right, that was their attack. It didn't do anything. I'm going to remove this die now because this yeoman archer unit is going to also attack the same blood harvesters. Let's see if we can get a better result here. Okay, this time we got the single sword cleave icon. Of course, that's going to do nothing. However, we did get a lore symbol, and when you roll a lore symbol, you actually collect a lore token. So they're going to collect 1 lore token from there. However, they did not score any hits. Not what I was looking for, but that's such is life. Now, the Citadel Guard here, I'm going to remove their die because they are going to also attack. Now, they have slightly different stats. They're a melee infantry unit, and they have something called superior attack. So if I roll the double sword symbol, they can use that die either to inflict a wound or cause 1 retreat, and they have something called pursue 1. They can move 1 space. It says instead of using advance, this unit may move 1 hex and perform 1 additional attack. So that's what they have as an ability. So let's go ahead. Oh, and they have 3 attack dice as well for melee. So they're adjacent to the Blood Harvesters. They are going to use their 3 attack dice and see if they can do some damage here. Okay, so we get another lore. So that's going to be added. We'll take another lore token. For the Daqan, they're now up to 4 lore tokens. They have the heroic symbol and they have the double sword. Now the double sword, again, means they can either use it to inflict 1 wound or they can cause 1 retreat. And I think in this instance, the best use of my dice is to commit the double sword dice to cause a retreat. So they have to retreat directly opposite from where the attack happened. So they're going to have to move here. And now the Citadel Guard has something called Pursue 1. It says instead of using advance, so advance means you move into the space you've pushed your enemy out of, this unit may move 1 hex and perform 1 additional attack. So that's a pretty powerful ability. So basically the crown didn't do anything for them, but they have Pursue. So we're going to pursue those Blood Harvesters with our Citadel Guard, and they march right in here on conveniently on the victory point marker space, and they're going to attack the Blood Harvesters again because of that Pursue 1 ability. So let's see if they can do some damage this time. And this time they do have 1 sword symbol, and they're a strong unit, so that's going to inflict 1 damage. The arrow target symbol is only used for range, that does nothing, and they have 1 retreat. So let's take a look and see what happens. The 1 damage is going to happen from the sword. One of the Blood Harvesters is knocked out, and the Blood Harvesters now have to retreat 1. But as you can see, they have to retreat directly into a Daqan force, which means they must lose a unit. Okay, now, unfortunately, there's something called the retaliation. So because they have attacked the Daqan, or sorry, the Blood Harvesters are adjacent to the attacking unit now, they get to have a counterattack on the attacking unit. And this could be a little ugly, but let's have a look. And there's no advances in counterattacks. However, they have something called Rage, which is an innate ability. It says add 1 die to each combat roll performed by this unit for each figure missing from this unit. They already have 3 attack dice. They're going to actually add 2 more because there are 2 units missing. This could be very bad. They have 5 attack dice on their counterattack against the Citadel Guards. Okay, so that may be pretty punishing. So let's see what the Blood Harvesters do to the attacking Citadel Guards. And it looks like, well, maybe we have lucked out a bit. Now the single sword icons, the cleave, only if a unit is down to 1, which means they are weak, then those do not hit. So those don't count for anything. However, they do have a special. They will hit the Citadel Guard for 1, and they're going to also collect 1 lore token. So the Citadel Guard are going to lose 1 unit, again, for the double sword icon has been committed. So they're out of the game. And now, if we look at, if we take a look at, the Blood Harvester's card, we have here the crown, the heroic, and it says Frenzy. It says cause 1 damage, remove 1 figure from this unit after this combat. Now, you do not have to commit dice. So basically right now, the option is the Blood Harvester can wipe out 1 more Citadel Guard unit, but then the Blood Harvester unit has to disappear, or they can just not commit that dice to anything. And I think that's the wisest thing for the Blood Harvesters to do. So they're just not going to commit the Frenzy, which would then remove it from the board. All right, that is basically all of the attacks and counterattacks in the attack step. So now we are up to the victory point phase. And okay, we have the Citadel Guards here are sitting on 1 victory point. I'm just going to readjust the camera and we'll see if there's any more. Okay, and also from before, we've had this Citadel Guard unit move on to this victory point marker. That's going to be 2 victory points for the Daqan. Also, if we look at their setup card, we will take a look at the text on the bottom, and it says victory point step, which is right now. Gain 1 victory point if friendly units occupy more hexes in the center section than enemy units. All right, let's have a quick count. I think that's the case. We have 1. Now, because it's straddling the line, it counts as both sections. So the Rock Warrior counts as 1. We have archers here for 2, golems 3, 4. We have 5 Daqan units in the center section, and there's only, if you look across, 1, 2, 3 units from the Uthik in the center section. So Daqan is going to score another victory point. That will be 3 victory point markers for Daqan. It is now tied 3-3. So the Uthik looked like they were off to a great start. The Daqan have now got the same amount of victory points, and we are now on to the draw phase. So we've used a command card. We must replace a command card for the Daqan, and it's an attack right card, which means order 3 units on the right, and we put that in with their pile of cards. All right, and now they also have a lore step, and again, they can either gain 2 lore, they can gain 1 lore and 1 lore card, or draw 2 lore cards and discard 1 of them. So I think I'm going to opt for gaining 1 lore, so that's going to bring them up to a total of 5. And I'm also going to grab the next lore card, and it's all specific for the faction. And their lore card that they grab is Valor and Vengeance. It only costs 2. It says play during your opponent's attack step after a combat roll is performed against a friendly knight unit. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any knight units. Oh no, the Citadel Guards are indeed knight units. I retract that back. It says that friendly unit ignores all retreats caused by that command roll and add 2 dice to the friendly unit's counter roll. So it'd be their counter attack. So that's a pretty good card, because I have a feeling things are going to happen on the left side of the board over that victory point marker. So that is going to be a lore card. All right, that was the Daqan turn 1. They have tied the score. Now it's 3 victory points to 3 victory points. So a pretty good comeback. However, I was a little disappointed with the archers not being able to score even 1 retreat or 1 hit. So it didn't go quite as I planned it. However, there you have it. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time when we go back to the Uthik player for their second turn and see if they can regain some of the lost ground and maybe make even more gains. All right, thanks for watching.